Welcome to Haunted Road Media. I'm your host, author, and ghost historian Mike Ricksecker. With us today is the fabulous Erin Marie Hogan, who takes the lead as Ellie in the paranormal thriller Dwelling and plays Linda Kasabian in the biopic House of Manson. Thanks for joining us today, Erin. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for...
Absolutely. Okay, I'm just going to dive right into it here. Now, as Ellie in Dwelling, you play a woman who purposely buys a house knowing that it's haunted. After talking with Kyle Mecca, the director, I know he doesn't really want to, reveal too much of the plot. But can you give us a little bit of the premise of the film?
Basically, what it is that my character Ellie and Stephanie Pinn's character River had a very tragic which resulted in the death of their mother. So River is hospitalized and doesn't know what happened or doesn't reveal what happened, and Ellie is pretending to be a little more at peace than she really is. But she's dead set on being able to talk to her mom one more time and find out what happened. She absolutely can't let that go, and so she purchases this house and gets a little more than she bargained for.
Right. And that's something that has kind of really drawn me to the premise and the backdrop of this film. Now, is that something that drew you to the role of the film? You know, what was it that sold you on this role?
What really sold me on this role is once I was given the script and read the script is probably I read it. I had somebody else read it. I always have like several people read through it, and multiple people are like, "This is the best thing you've been offered. You have to do this." And I'm like, I know. Like, I really just wanted you to read it. You don't need to reconfirm that for me.
Right. Nice.
Yeah, Kyle is a really great writer, and it was really, really clear exactly what he wanted when I read that script. I knew that he knew exactly what he was trying to get across and what he wanted the audience to see and feel and the mood, and it was very, very clear to me, and the dialogue was very, very natural to me. So it was just such a great script, and that on top of getting the chance to work with Bethany again was just like, that was just icing on the cake that I get to work with Bethany again. But the script is just, it's a really good script. Kyle's a fantastic writer, so I was very drawn to it immediately.
Yeah, that's fantastic, and I've read some of Kyle's other writing, so it would be really interesting to see how his writing is portrayed in film. Now, you mentioned Devney Penn. I know you've worked with her in some other films. So, how was that? Working with her again. Was there a nice familiarity in being able to perform with her on screen again?
Yeah, there really was, and the first film that Devney and I did together, we had no screen time together, and then Devney kind of hit me up about House of Manson and said, I only have your Twitter to contact you, but this Charles Manson thing, do you want to do it? I'm like, yes, of course. Like, who doesn't want to do a Charles Manson thing?
Right.
We had some screen time in that, but really getting to have some moments together on screen finally with Stephanie was just really, really great. We've been in things together. We've had a little bit of screen time before, but playing sisters and was just something that was really cool and really natural for me. So that was a lot of fun. That we could trust each other and give and take on the screen, which is not always something that you have between actors. You're not always necessarily given as much as you are giving. So it's really cool that I've worked with Bethany before, and we were able to give and take together and work together again. again, and it was just a lot of fun.
Yeah, very, very cool. Now, what kind of challenges as an actress did you have in playing the role of Ellie?
You know, there's a lot of layers, and the biggest thing, I think, is that a lot of people don't realize exactly how many layers there are to human emotion. And what was really interesting about Ellie is that, like I said in the script, as soon as I read it, I didn't have to create that for her. It was already there, but it's a challenge to maintain that. There's so many layers with her mother's death and her being at rest, having this level of unrest, but trying to appear as though she's at peace. On top of all the feelings that she feels about her sister being hospitalized, to taking care of her sister's child, to her relationship with her fiance. There's so many things that go into how acts and reacts in real life, and maintaining that as a different person with someone as complex as Ellie, who just seems to appear like she's just completely serene, but reading it, I knew that she was not. That was something that I constantly had to remind myself. She's also feeling this and this and this and this. There's so many things. She's a very complex person, but she doesn't appear that way at first.
Sounds like a really, really deep character. I can't wait to see how you portray Ellie on screen. So, and that's coming out in the fall. So yeah, a little bit of a time to wait, but hopefully that goes by quickly. Now, switching gears here, going into House of Manson, you played Linda Kasabian, who was the the Manson family member who was the key witness for the prosecution in the murder trials. Now, how did you prepare for such a notorious role and character like that?
I did a lot of research, a lot. I looked for everything I could possibly find on Linda Kasabian, on Charles Manson, on all the girls, and there's a lot online, but there's not quite as much about Linda. She's really kind of hiding. And so that was a little bit of a challenge, but there's a lot of information. Her entire testimony is from those 18 days. It's all online, and reading the whole thing and trying to find video of her, which is extremely difficult actually, so that I could try my best to mimic some of her mannerisms, that was really the biggest thing in preparing. We get really, especially with someone like Charles Manson, we get really kind of like, I don't know the word for it, but like garbled up in who we know him to be now. And our goal with the movie was to show possibly how take the information that Brandon and Devaney obtained and try and show possibly how he got to that point. And so trying to sift through and look for information on Charles Manson and the girls, especially Linda, was extremely difficult because there's so much pro-con, he's crazy, he's this, he's that, and trying to find completely neutral information is impossible.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of very strong opinions about everything that happened back then. So given all of that and how infamous and gruesome the murders were, how was the atmosphere on set trying to portray the girls and of course Charles Manson? How was that cohesive? How was that working on set?
It was probably the friendliest set I've ever been on. it was definitely like a family. Being on the House of Manson set was like we were the Manson family, and we were hanging out and playing guitar all night and playing board games, and that's kind of what most of the cast did. So it was a huge family. It was a huge family with some really talented actors.
Nice.
And so it was very, very cool. I'm sure there were some frustrating moments where Stephanie and Brandon are like, guys, we're not really the Manson family. Like, you actually have to shoot a movie now.
Right.
So let's do that. But, it was like being with a gigantic family. It was very cool.
Yeah, that's great, and the film has been getting a lot of fantastic reviews. It's having a great run on the independent festival circuit right now. So, to the viewers, go ahead and catch that at a festival near you. Now, you've been playing roles in the horror and paranormal genre here for a few years. You've been in Paranormal Entity, Hold Your Breath, among a few others. So, what's your draw to that, and is this a genre you're going to be sticking in for a few more years here?
Yeah, I'm really, really drawn to the paranormal because it's something that we don't understand. So there's several things that go into it. Is that I, as a child, heard lots of bumps in the night and things like that, and my mom says that I actually told her I met my grandfather at one point, who's been dead my entire life.
Oh,
and
wow.
I remember telling her that, but I don't remember that actually happening.
Mm-hmm.
But I know I was completely serious.
Okay.
I know I wasn't just telling her something. So it's interesting because I like to think of myself as an optimistic skeptic, and that I would love to think that we go somewhere when we die, and what we do on this earth while we're alive matters. But I also have to sit back and look and go, Erin, there's no proof of this. Literally none. So it's something that's just so cool and interesting to me because it's something that we don't understand, and maybe we're not meant to understand it, but I'm going to keep trying to understand it.
So you have a genuine, personal curiosity about the paranormal.
Yes, I do, and I do. I go and I do investigations, and I do things like that. And every chance that I get to go in the creepiest possible places, I will do it. I am all about it.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So
no, I guess I didn't realize you went on investigations and things like that. I mean, I kind of knew that you were involved a little bit with that, but not, going into, a lot of investigations and researching things like that. So that's very, very cool.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's just something that we don't understand, and maybe we're not meant to understand it, but it's really cool to when you get that little piece of something that maybe this means something. It's really, really neat to think, hey, maybe there's somebody here that I don't see, that I don't hear right now. Like maybe they're here. I don't know. I'm not sure. It's a cool and really exciting kind of feeling.
Yeah, I definitely know where you're coming from, because that's a big part, of course, of what I do. So now, what's next in the world of Erin Marie Hogan? What do you have on tap?
Right now I'm doing a lot of promotion for Manson and Dwelling, because I'm very, very happy with what I did with those. And I haven't seen Dwelling yet, but I know after working on that set and after seeing the trailer, I'm really happy with what I did, and I think that everyone on that set is going to be really proud of what we made together, just based on what I've seen so far. So I'm really pushing for that. It's one of my favorite roles that I've ever been given, and then, Manson is right up there with it. So I'm really pushing that because I'm really proud of what I did there. But I've been doing a lot of charity work. I've been doing a lot of hosting for Breezeway Productions, so I've been hosting a lot of charity and premieres and things like that, which has been a lot of fun. Things that I believe in, like NKLA and Best Friends Society. So I went to the opening of it's called Cafe, and it was like, basically you can go in and get your coffee and sit around, and they let the homeless cats that are up for adoption wander around, and you can play with them.
Oh, wow.
And you can pet them, and you can hold them, and while you enjoy your coffee. And I just thought, how cool is that? Because, you go to a shelter and you see a cat and it's sad and it's sitting in a cold little cage, and they all have their own personalities, so I thought that was really neat. So, as I've been shooting lots and lots of smaller parts and just things that I kind of enjoy doing, I've been pushing Dwelling, I've been pushing Manson,
right.
Been gearing up for the convention season that's obviously coming up in the fall, so everybody should, hit up your local convention and be like, hey, we want Erin there.
Right.
I don't get to choose where I go, so hit up your convention and be like, I want to see Erin. That would be great.
There you go.
Yeah, a lot of promotion, because I'm really proud, and a lot of charity, especially with the animals, has been what I've been working on in the past couple months.
That's fantastic. Well, I really appreciate you joining us today. We're going to go ahead and wrap it up here, but, if you want to take a minute here and, just if you want to give us a couple of websites, events, maybe your charity websites that you want to go ahead and plug here real quick, go ahead.
Yeah, my official website always has all of my dates for all my events, everything like that on it. It's ErinMarieHogan.com. I'm very active on social media, so my Facebook, my Twitter, my Instagram, my Vine, all of my events, all of my openings, all of my premieres, anything that you could possibly need is on my social media. So on Vine and on Facebook, I'm just Erin Marie Hogan. Easy enough to find. And then on Twitter and Instagram, I'm Erin Marie OMG. Erin Marie OMG, as in, oh my god. And
right.
You can tell I like dogs.
Yeah. Yapping a little bit in the background, that's all right.
Marbles. Enough. So, yes, that's the last word. But, yeah, and then there's a couple things I'm really supporting right now. I'm going to be gearing up in the fall, hoping to have my own team to walk with the Out of the Darkness walk. In the one in Los Angeles is the one that I'll be walking with, and that is a walk to raise money and awareness for suicide prevention, depression, bipolar disorder, things like that. So I will be doing that. I'll be creating a team. I'll be putting up anybody in LA who wants to walk with me. I'll be putting that up. And then anything that I'm hosting, check out Breezeway Productions. I'll be hosting a whole bunch of stuff, including the cafe. That's already up. I get to interview the hero cat, which was pretty cool, who rescued a little boy from a dog attack. So that's Breezeway Productions, and I could go on because I'm just a rambler. But
no, you're good. You're good, and that's great with how involved that you've been. It's not a lot of people really get out there and do those sorts of things, and you are, and that's fantastic. So that's going to go ahead and wrap it up. Erin, I want to thank you again for joining us today. And to the viewers, I want to thank you for watching. Please go ahead and leave comments and feedback below. If you like the interview, of course, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button. And also, if you haven't yet, please subscribe. Until next time.